Hey dudes, welcome to Hilah Cooking. I'm Hilah. Today is our final installment of Thanksgiving recipes, and I'm going to make my great-grandma's pecan pie recipe. Last week I showed you how to do pie crust, homemade pie crust. You can use a store-bought or you can make your own. But here's her original recipe written in her original hand, and I'm going to follow it almost exactly because I'm going to add some bourbon. Okay, let's get started. So we need a few things here. I've got some pecans, some eggs, sugar, butter, some bourbon, and then her recipe calls for dark churro syrup. I don't really use a lot of corn syrup, so I'm actually substituting some sorghum molasses, which it's made from a grass. It's not made from sugarcane like regular molasses. If you want to use dark churro syrup, that's fine, or if you can find sorghum, that's great too, or molasses, but that would be a little bit maybe too strong a molasses taste. But it's up to you. If you love molasses, go for it. All right, the first thing to do is toast up the pecans in a couple tablespoons of butter. If you used my homemade pie crust recipe, you could just use the rest of the stick after you make the pie crust to do the pecans. But whatever, I'm going to use this. So that's just going to take, oh, my oven's hot. That's just going to take a couple of minutes to get toasty, and while that's happening, I'm going to start mixing up the rest of my ingredients. Don't burn the nuts. All right, let's crack these eggs in here. And I've got my eggs at room temperature. That's a pretty important thing to remember if you're making anything like this, kind of like a pie that has eggs in it, or a cheesecake or anything like that. So just try to get your eggs out of the fridge an hour or two before you use them. Or if you live in Europe, you probably don't even keep your eggs in the fridge. All right, get that beat up. Add my sugar. And my extremely sticky sorghum. All right, checking on my nuts. They're smelling really toasted, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off and put a couple glugs of booze in there. You could leave this out if you don't have bourbon on hand and you don't want to buy any. Just put in like a teaspoon of vanilla extract, or even like rum extract if you want like a boozy flavor without having booze in it. So that was about a couple tablespoons. Trying to get it real incorporated. And I'll put in my toasted nuts. And any butter that's left in there too. Okay. Yummy. Okay, now we're ready to put it in our shell. Alright, so I've got my pie pan on a little cookie sheet because that's going to make it easier for me to get it in and out of the oven. And that's not really risk in this case, but if you were making a fruit pie, it might boil over. So putting a little sheet under there will also save you from having to scrub out your oven. Neat trick from me to you. Okay, let's put it in the oven. All right, 375 for 35 minutes or so. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes, and that is a little bit too jiggly. I'm gonna give it another 5 minutes or so. All right, now it's been about 45 minutes, and this is what I'm talking about. See, it's still a little jiggly in the middle, but almost completely set. So let's take this baby out of the oven. Okay, awesome, gorgeous. All right, now this just needs to cool completely, which could take a couple of hours. So I will see you back in about 2 hours. All right, time for the I don't know, the proof or something. It's not really proof that you can't taste it. That is the best pecan pie ever. And I don't even normally like pecan pie, so that probably proves something. All right, well, I hope you try that. Hope you try making your own pie crust because it's not really that hard. And have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. See ya!